Okay.
Okay, well now we're
Record.
recording. I did. I just hit
Yay, we're
record.
recording. We've
Yep.
done it again.
Woohoo!
We figured it out once more for the 15th time.
We're in your home, we're in your head. Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn off your mind.
And I will not cover myself in semen or pussy juice this time.
Yes, you will not. Or maybe I like how my only indication that the song is over is that your dancing stops.
Yeah, that's a good cue.
I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
And
What is
now
that
I'm
from?
not.
That's from a movie, right?
I think so.
No, that's from Stupid Me. That's from Borderlands.
Mmm.
When Claptrap will go around saying, "I'm dancing. I'm dancing."
Still curious about what the Borderlands movie's gonna be.
I know. Well, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
We are Soul of a Gamer.
Yes, that.
I'm Scott,
I'm Steven.
and he doesn't understand cues.
I don't.
But
does
we're here to tell
anybody?
you about a game. We're here to tell you about a game we played. What was your last week game?
Well, it's Journey. It's been a little bit.
No, it hasn't. It wasn't Journey.
Yeah.
No,
What else did we do?
it was not Journey. We played a game in between there.
Oh, it was
and it
Ori.
was Ori, yes, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yes, sorry. I just
Not
posted
Journey.
that today. That's why I forgot.
Yeah. So this week we are playing
Sonic Adventures.
Sonic Adventures. And then it's Sonic. I want to say it's like Sonic DX for the GameCube. Later on, it's not Sonic Adventure DX. It's just Sonic DX.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, that's why I was always confused. And people are like, "What's Sonic DX?" I'm like, "Sonic DX. That's what it's called." Yeah, because
Okay.
it's director's cut or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's they try to. I don't get it. Whatever. Yeah, we're playing Sonic Adventure. This game came out in I want to say 98. Of course, this
sure.
is a Sega game, so it's perfect.
Totally. It's
we
all
really-
perfect. Yeah,
You
great.
really have no problems with falling through floors
No.
or flying into walls that don't exist
Or getting stuck in certain areas.
or getting stuck anywhere.
Or
or, like,
camera
not
being
understanding.
really shitty.
I mean, that was 98. You can't get mad at the. You're mad at that. You're mad at every game that came out in 98, I guess.
I mean,
Even Tony Hawk's camera was kind of shitty in 98.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, they just did better because they didn't have to. I want to say they did better because the vertical aspect of the camera, they could change like the behind the view to the vertical, so that you never
Yeah.
got stuck behind a wall, right?
Yeah, I think there was like
your
one
back
time
was
I
facing the
almost got
ceiling.
caught in a wall, but it was just because of a stupid
Yeah.
momentum circumstance.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get into this with.
What's on the box?
I actually did pull up a box this time.
You did. Wait, the box?
I did.
Oh, you have a box. Got it. We're on what's on the box. I understand.
Yeah.
I need to get like a clear picture for what we have, but I think I remember now.
Yeah. Buckle up, and we're talking 5-point harness. Sonic the Hedgehog will propel your Dreamcast into warp speed 3D adventure. Want rings? We've got rings. Want Chaos Emeralds? We've got those too. You want insane graphics, huge levels, puzzles, hidden mini games, multiple playable characters, and more? Oh yeah, we've got it all.
That's actually a pretty good box, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of exciting.
And then it actually has like features and stuff that this says too. 6 playable characters and jaw-dropping 3D
Yeah, I was gonna say, read me
graphics.
the features.
3D massive levels and a life system.
Life
they have
system?
more things in it. Exclusive a life
Oh,
system? Or-
do they mean like you have lives, so you
Yeah.
can die, you could come back? That's
yeah, I
really
think that's
stupid.
what they mean.
That's a dumb thing to say.
I don't know. I know nothing. But yeah, actually, as far as box goes, and even like pictures for the box, because I'm looking at the Sega Dreamcast box. It's
That's what
pretty
I'm
good.
looking at right now. Well, it even shows all the characters, shows the scene that everyone loves, the scene with the orca in the background.
Right.
And then I don't know what this other one is. What is this other level? Oh, is that the highway level? That's the highway level. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. This last level looks like the Mythic Ruins.
It looks like either the Mythic Ruins or.
Yeah, it's the Mythic Ruins. It's
Oh,
where,
okay.
but Tails wasn't there during the level. But whatever.
I was thinking it was one that is part of that one level where that's got all underneath the ship, maybe.
Underneath the ship? No, it's got the dragon breathing fire in the background.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. So yeah, the box is actually pretty good. I like that box. That's the right amount of intensity that I want for a game when it comes to this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
don't go too like specific, don't go too broad. Be right in that middle area where people really enjoy it.
Yeah, tell us
Right?
what the game actually has, and this does that. Like it talks
Yeah.
about the things about Sonic that you love, and says we have
I
that.
will say, maybe take out the fucking thing about the lives. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just dumb.
It's
But
like this is not a Souls-like game where if you die, you start over, on the hardest difficulty or whatever. But
there is no
like
difficulty.
every game has like a point where you could save and come back at that save point.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell they're talking about there.
I have no idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was
Yeah,
good. I like
yeah.
that. But I'll give it a 5 out of 7.
I'll give it. Yeah.
If it,
Yeah.
if it had more cool pictures, I would have been. I would have been like
5 out of 7.
Easy.
That's such a interesting scale. I was just thinking of how I would
Yep.
go on that. I'll go a 5.5 out of 7.5.
Well, fuck you. Fuck you.
A half scale better on both ways.
All right. Let's move on.
Are we jamming?
Yeah, we are jamming a little bit on this
Actually, did you notice what this game did? I really hope you noticed.
one. With the different endings having different songs, or
They're all original songs written for each fucking character.
okay,
Isn't that amazing?
it is.
There is. Are you kidding me? I was like, and they're all full length. If you go to the
Yeah.
options, you can actually hear the full length songs
I thought it pretty much
They
went
give-
through the entire song just in the credits.
during
with
the credit. Yeah, I
yeah.
know the credits were kind of annoying.
Yes.
That was like one of my big things where I'm like, have a fucking skip credit button. For people who like
Seriously.
replayability, they hate watching fucking credits.
Yes, and
the
if you're
first
watching
time's
the credits the 6th time in a row, you're like, why
Yeah.
am I still seeing this scene?
Yeah, so if you go into the options, you can hear every single song. And sorry, there's 7 original songs in the game. One for Sonic, Tails, Knuckles,
Big Cat
Big the Cat, Amy,
and Gamma.
the robot guy, Gamma, and Supersonic.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so you get all 7 songs, which is cool. Voice acting was kind of garbage.
Yeah, I mean that kind of was just really rudimentary and lame in a lot of ways.
Yeah. But the only one that was good, I will say, the best voice actor. Can you guess who it is?
Eggman?
Eggman.
Yeah.
His voice actor, I think he's dead now, but he was so fucking good as Dr. Eggman.
I'm gonna say a hot take right here, but playing this game and having this Eggman made me hate Jim Carrey's Eggman even more than I already did.
I know it's hard because his voice is just perfect for the role.
Yes.
But again, he's passed on, so I don't think he can do it anymore.
Yeah, but I wanted that style of Eggman for the movie, and we got
Yeah,
Ace Ventura playing Eggman for the movie.
yeah. Well, we got like revamped Ace Ventura, the Ace Ventura who doesn't like being dirty anymore.
Right?
But yeah, the voice acting, guys, it is not phenomenal. Amy is
No.
actually not too bad, but like
Yeah.
they've got some weird cuts. Did you notice that? Like sometimes
Yes.
they'd be saying something, especially the fucking what's her name, the girl
To call?
to call, yeah, where she's like, I must do something. I need to do something now. I need to do something. Like, and it was just like the most. I don't know if they found like a girl off the street and said, "Hey, you want $20?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll give you a blowjob, I guess."
No, I want you to say a few lines in the microphone.
Yeah, because like
Weird.
seriously, it was so fucking bad. Her voice
Yeah.
acting was the worst in the game.
Yeah. I also thought like some of the characters are just kind of like useless, like Big Cat.
Yeah, I don't know. They try to fit all these characters in. These were all like. This is before like they based the cartoon that came out off of this.
Oh, okay.
So, because I'm pretty sure the cartoon
Sonic
came out
X.
after. Yeah, after the second game came out.
Yeah.
And the second game was where they based the first season and part of the part first half and second half of the first season on the first game, and the second game was the second half.
Okay.
So it's just I don't know, it's really interesting. But yeah, the voice acting not great. Tails was really bad.
Yeah.
Amy was okay. Gamma was okay too, but it's hard to
Yeah.
fuck up like an artificial voice.
It really is.
So, and then Big the Cat was just a dumb. Hey guys, like fucking Barney the dinosaur is playing with you the entire time. My doggy.
Oh, the Barney. Yeah, that sounds. He's even a purple
Yeah,
and giant.
pur-
I mean, Barney.
purple giant fucking cat, and just like my doggy. Like it's just so annoying the way they made some of these characters talk.
Yeah, it really
But
was.
if I had to rank them, I think I would put Dr. Eggman a far in front, and then second maybe Sonic or Amy. I think those three were actually the
Yeah.
best in the game.
And then Gamma, then Knuckles.
Gamma would be number one because again you can't fuck them up. I
True.
guess. Knuckles
Um,
was okay, but Knuckles was kind of annoying. His voice was a little just not fitting for a Knuckles for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird.
I did really enjoy the soundtrack though, and the different songs. I think Sonic was my favorite of the songs.
Yeah, I actually liked Amy's a lot. That yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that little intro. That's a cool intro for anytime she's walking around. You're like, oh, she's a fucking boss bitch.
And Tails wasn't too bad either. I
No,
enjoyed
Tails
that
was fun. They actually say Tails' name in the song. I want to
Yeah.
say. And then I don't remember Big the Cat's, but his is more like it's got like a sliding guitar in it. It's like new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it starts out kind of like you're down south hearing
Yeah.
like a weird jambalaya band. I don't know what they call them. I know it's not
Like when they
jambalaya
play
guys.
like bluegrass,
Yeah, no, not really bluegrass. It's
but like
not
just
that cool.
southern folk music.
Yeah, kind of. Clear they try to put each character's like interest like a fishing, almost like you're in Florida and you're on the bayou and someone's playing that song. You know. Like,
Yeah. They're having a jamboree.
Again, I get it. Louisiana has the bayou guys, but Florida's basically a giant fucking bayou.
The Bayou or the Bayou by me.
Yeah. No. Yeah, the music was just so fucking good. Sonic song is just fun. It's hardcore. Like you could download all these songs on MP3.
I honestly thought about putting the Sonic song as on one of my playlists.
If you buy the game,
It comes with it.
yeah, if you buy the game on computer, you can open up the files, and I believe all the songs are in the files of the
That's
game.
awesome.
I mean, they have to be, right?
I laughed really hard though when I first heard just even the first Sonic song. I was like, oh, of course, Scott loves this game because it's got an original song.
Yeah, professional soundtrack. I mean, and that's cool. Not a lot of people did that back then, especially with like real songs. Because you think
Yeah.
about like, I can't think about the games that came out, but this game looks almost as good as like Metroid Prime does, right? And Metroid Prime came out in like 2002.
True.
We're at a 4 year and on a more advanced system per se, because the
Yeah.
GameCube was more advanced than the Dreamcast. So you're almost like, holy shit, the Dreamcast really did look fucking amazing for this game to look so good. Like, I know that, like the game we played, Steven, is not the HD version of the game. That's
Yeah.
just what it looked like back in the day, which
Yeah.
isn't perfect, but still fucking pretty good for '98, if you ask me.
Honestly, yeah, it really was. Like the
Yeah.
looks of a lot of things. Like you could definitely tell some like blockiness, but that's every game back then. Like everything
Yeah,
was
and
blocky.
And the one thing about it that I really liked is like, again, not a lot of games are doing original soundtracks back then. They'll do like the little like, we'll hire someone to play a harpsichord so they can fucking stick around on that for a while. But they're not gonna pull in like bands to fucking sing for them and put that, because that takes up a lot of space back then when a
Yeah.
gigabyte was a shit ton of space for a game.
True.
So you know how it goes.
Yeah, and not everything's 100 gigs anymore.
Yeah. It's just it is crazy to me though how like they pulled in 7 fucking original songs. Plus the ambiance music is really good. I did like the sound effects for just like hitting things.
Yeah.
Like the
I-
Knuckles punch was sounded pretty good, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I really liked a couple of the different like explosions and like the different ray sounds and stuff too of the different bosses. And I really liked like Even like Tails, like the way he like runs with his tail whipping around, you can even get that like sound effect.
Yeah. And the Amy Hammer hitting down was pretty good. So,
Yeah.
all right. So,
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
how we feeling about some reviews?
Oh, let's do some.
All right.
I'm curious.
So I'm on Amazon,
Uh,
and I'm gonna do some 1-star reviews this time because all the 5-star reviews are basically the same. Most amazing game in the world. Played it as a kid, couldn't stop playing it. Played it again, couldn't stop loving it.
did you write that one?
Basically, I mean, everyone wrote that one. So what's funny is the game itself has no reviews. It's just the discs, which I think is really
What?
funny.
That's weird.
So let's go with Reed Smith. So much for my excitement. I just got this game and was really excited to play it. Not even an hour of it being delivered or playing it. Wait, not even an hour of it being delivered or playing it?
He's good with English, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get a message on my TV saying error and to follow GameCube guidebook for more information. The disc was too scratched up and didn't want to play. The cover never came with it. It only came with a disc and some kind of plastic box around it. I want my money back. Very disappointed, and it killed my good mood. Never been so angry and disappointed in my life. I'm like,
Okay then.
I can think of a million times I've been more angry and disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, even paying a bill sometimes is even more annoying than that.
Well, Drake Frumer says, stay away.
Stay.
Came in a manner that... Oh, okay, so they just pull the first, like, couple words to make, like, the tag for it. Came in a manner that is unacceptable, all capitalized. I was promised a working used Sonic Adventure DX GameCube game, but when it came, I could hear the disc rattling around in it. Rattling around in its case as if it was begging to be scuffed. What? Okay. When I put the disc in the console and turned it on, it immediately said the disc cannot be read, and the disc is scratched beyond repair.
Did you clean
This
it?
is unacceptable, and it wasn't what I paid for. Well, it's funny because why would you like the first thing I do when I buy a game is I turn the disc
Thing
around
to
and I
look
check.
at,
Yeah, because I want to make sure it's gonna play.
Well, and even a lot of stores back then had disc cleaners where you can go and get your disc clean and remove scratches and stuff.
I remember going to Game Crazy and buying a game, and they would take it out to show you, hey, this is your game you're getting, and that way they show you the back of it so you know it's not scratched up.
Yeah.
So these people are just like, maybe they're born too late to understand, and you check the back of the disc.
Well,
and also, like, those buffers are only, I want to say, like $10 or something. You can just buy
they're
one.
cheap, and you can get that gel because there's a gel that you can get for like $5 that you can just do it yourself.
And that way you have it for all your stuff in the future. Although I not a lot of people are scratching up their shit. But...
Yeah.
All right. And for the last one, games don't work. Connor Patridge was very, very upset because he waited a week and a half for this and was really excited. And it was one of my favorite games as a child. It didn't work at all. It wouldn't even start up. And I was very disappointed. Will not be buying from the seller again. Would not recommend. Seller sounds like a piece of shit, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, for sure.
I mean, that's it's funny to me when the sellers are bad. Everyone reads the reviews, the 5 stars, and they're like, well, then maybe they're good. All right, I'm gonna read one 5-star review. It's the longest one, but it's not very long.
Okay, I'm ready for this. From
Emmy. Perfect. The price was much better than I imagined. What are you imagining prices for? Weird. And the game even arrived an entire week before it was scheduled to. It came in a protective plastic game case, safely tucked in a perfect size Hubble mailer. Oh, bubble mailer. I'm like, Hubble mailer. What the fuck is that? Bubble mailer. Mm-hmm. So far, the game works perfectly, and it has no scratches or fingerprints to be seen on the underside. Who calls it the underside? The gameplay is just as fun as when I was a kid, and I'm so glad I bought this. Thank you. Also, this seller I got my copy from was... Okay. Oh, Thank you.
Scott is having technical
Also,
difficulties.
but you got to just hear this. Also, this seller I got my copy from, comma, also has a few of my other favorite nostalgic games, and I plan on picking them up from the
Okay,
same shop. Yay. Yeah, I don't.
cool. Why do you
Why
have
would
to
you put?
announce to people in your review that you're gonna buy more things from that person?
Oh, why wouldn't you say this seller has more games I like as well, so I'll be able to buy even more for you guys to know. Like, why would you say also this seller has got a
Yeah,
copy
oh,
from the
cool.
seller I got my copy from? Like, you don't need to say that. You say this
This
seller.
seller,
Just take
yeah.
I got my copy from out of there, and also don't put another fucking also in there.
People add a lot of unnecessary words sometimes.
They're like,
That's just what happens.
I need to uh write a review, and I need to make sure I use as many big words as possible so people think I'm fucking smart.
I am writing review using my computer, typing on my keyboard, clicking my mouse to hit the send button for the review to go through.
Yeah. It's like what was that old game where it's like all your base are now belong to us.
All your base but now belong to us.
No, all your base are now belong to us.
Oh,
It was in a game back in the day, like a '90s game. I want to say.
I can't remember.
It might be the original.
Like Warcraft or
Not Warcraft. The other one.
StarCraft?
StarCraft. Yeah, StarCraft might be the original StarCraft.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. Let's skip. Let's go on.
All right.
How does it play?
How does it play?
This game is off and on. I will say that.
Yeah.
I've had playthroughs. Not a lot happened on this playthrough, thankfully, but I've had playthroughs where literally I've fallen through the fucking ground.
I had a couple of times where I like glitched through a wall or cut through something I shouldn't have, or like
Yeah.
got caught between like two rocks or something. But that only happened like I want to say only like 4 or 5 times, and
Yeah,
only one time I had to actually like restart this game.
Yeah, this game really struggled with its like the walls it put up too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the invisible walls are insane. If you were in the jungle and you tried to run a straight line, it was almost fucking impossible. You were stopped
Yeah.
every fucking matter. It was so much easier just going over the jungle than it was actually going through it.
Well, and even making turns as any of the characters, like going at any sort of speed, it's so touchy.
Yeah.
It's so hard not to hit a wall somewhere.
Yeah, or like be on the edge of a fucking cliff and fall off because you're not
Yes.
paying attention well enough. Yeah. This game features 6 characters, as we said before, that you can play through.
Yes.
Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Gamma, and Big the Cat. I would say out of all 6 of those, my least favorite to deal with were Big the Cat
Yes, by far.
and Amy.
Yeah. I
just-
liked that Amy's story was like very different, like
Yeah,
and had more cutscenes than most of the other characters, but to the same
For
extent,
sure.
like it felt a little unnecessary.
my only problem with it is playing through it after playing as Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, who all have
Yeah.
a good amount of speed, who all have a good amount of reach, who like they can do things. Like then you play as Amy, where an enemy has to be within like 1 fucking foot of you
That's true.
in order to do anything to it. And not only that, you're not fast. You're really fucking slow. Like, and the Big is the worst one. You don't even attack
Yeah.
anything. You're just fucking fishing the entire
Oh,
time.
you can smack people with your fishbowl.
I know, but it's not the same.
It's not. No, and
It's-
that's one of the things I will say for this game. The pacing, which we'll get to in the story, is just shit. Like you
Yeah, a
start with
little
the 3 fastest characters, and then you go to the 3 slowest characters.
Yeah, I would have like milked them in between. That way, you're not like so fucking...
Exactly.
Well, I guess you don't have to start it with any character. The only one you have to start with is Sonic, right? If you go through all of Sonic's story, you unlock every character. But yeah, the way they organized it
Yeah.
is you do it in this order. But you can really do it in any order you want.
True.
So yeah, but you could stop playing Sonic after you get Tails and just start playing Tails too.
True.
So that was an interesting thing in the game. The move sets in these games are fun. Sonic has a cool little like double jump move where you jump and then you hit it again to target an enemy and like
Yeah.
rush towards them within ball form, and you kill
Mhm.
them basically. Tails has a tail whip.
And you
Is
can
what-
do a full tail spin that's like a
Yeah.
continuous spin after you upgrade it.
Yeah, you also just if you jump as a ball, which only a few characters do, I think Tails and Sonic are the only ones who jump as balls.
I think so.
But then when they jump as a ball, they always can hit, like in ball form. Ball form always hits something.
Yep.
Knuckles can punch and dig. Amy has a hammer that's actually pretty cool when you're running at full speed and you like hit it to jump. I thought that was
Yes,
fun.
I love that.
Yeah, that was the best part about Amy. Big is just like he has literally nothing. He just has a fishing pole and he's slow. I will. The only part about Big. Did you love the one thing about Big?
The one thing
What's
about Big.
what's the one thing about Big that's the best? There's only one thing that's amazing about Big.
He's purple.
He's fast at a certain moment.
I don't know.
He's fast when he climbs ladders.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually the only thing I really like about Big. I'm like, why can't everyone
I
fucking
honestly
climb
like
ladders
shut
so
off my
fast?
brain when I was playing as Big the cat because I was just so annoyed with having to walk anywhere with him. I was like, what
Yeah,
is
I mean,
this?
I get it, but I just love the way he climbs ladders is so fucking
It's
quick. It's
so
not even funny. It's like, yeah, it's like
he
it's
wobbles so
literally.
much.
Well, because he's a cat. I think that's the point. Is like
Yeah,
he's so he's supposed to be nimble. Like I think that's what
I
they were
guess
trying to go
so.
for. But he's like a big fat fucking cat. And then Gamma is actually one of my favorites. You get some missiles, you get a
Yes.
float, your jump's pretty good, your speed's not too bad. Gamma's like the most rounded character in that entire game, I will say.
Yeah, he's
He's
pretty
also the
awesome.
saddest.
He's what?
He's the saddest.
Yeah, he is.
He's the one character not at the end.
True. And he does so
But
much for the team without them knowing.
he does. He does. Um, this game features a couple things that you could do in it besides like the story and the combat and stuff. You can do the Chow Garden. Did you get a chance to do the Chow Garden?
No, I didn't know actually what you were talking about. I should have looked it up because I totally forgot about that. I was like, because is that the like you take a
There's two
cart
elevators.
to it?
No,
in the,
oh, that's
oh,
another way to do it. That's a different.
okay,
So there's three different gardens. There's one
yeah.
in the Mystic Ruins, one in the
Eggman's ship.
Eggman ship, and one in the hotel. If you just take the elevator, you go up to it.
Oh, okay,
That's the starting one. That's the only one that I think has a starting egg.
okay. I saw an egg in the
They might all have a starting egg. That's always
yeah.
the one I start with, so I
Okay.
don't even bother
But
with the other ones.
I didn't know what to do with the egg and I didn't know what to do with the animals. I know I could like walk around and I could like pick up the egg and I could pick up the animals and there was like scanner
You,
things, but I couldn't do
so
anything with
what's
them.
funny is there's like a couple ways to hatch an egg. You could throw it against a wall.
I was wondering about that, but I didn't want to kill an
You
egg for no
can,
reason.
if you shake it, like there's a way to shake it while you're
Oh,
standing
okay.
still. It'll start to hatch. Like depending on how you hatch it, the chow can come out with a different personality.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's an interesting fucking thing because it like they put this little role playing aspect in the game. You get to upgrade these chows with the animals that you bring that improve their like speed, their flying,
Oh,
their
okay.
yeah, and then they race each other in these special races.
Hmm.
And it's actually kind of fun. You could get lost in this forever. Like
Okay.
it is kind of fun. You buy fruit and stuff to feed them to give them more stamina or something. Like so
Okay.
they on a race they don't just fall down and stop moving.
Maybe I'll have to go back into it for that.
You should. It's my favorite part of the game as a kid, and it's still my favorite part of the game now. People love it. That's why they play the fucking game.
Interesting.
This,
Okay.
yeah, the second game's all about the Chow Garden, basically. Like that's what they wanted to do. And you saw chows in the story. You know what they look like. They're the little creatures
Yeah.
that were
That
yeah.
you
So
get
they
after
all
you
look
kill
like
an
that.
enemy.
What's cool is if you upgrade flying on it, they'll just start flying around your garden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you and they'll grow wings and stuff. Like you have to upgrade speed, they'll grow cheetah paws. Like
Okay.
it actually is pretty fucking cool. The only frustrating part about it is you can only collect 10 animals.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go to a level, collect 10 animals, just leave the level, go to the garden, drop the 10 animals off, and then
Oh,
feed
okay.
them to a chow because by feeding them they kiss them and they take over their attributes, which seems like you're literally just feeding the fucking chow animals.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so when you feed the chow the animal, they like after the 10, then you leave and go get 10 more because if you leave, all the animals disappear.
Interesting.
Yeah, one thing that I really think would have been beneficial for them is have more animals being able to be put in there at one time because
Yeah.
Like, honestly, going back and forth is the most annoying shit in the world. And B, just have them stay after you leave, so you just keep going and collecting, and then you can fucking like
That,
install them in your chow.
that's fair.
Yeah, but that it's a fun little thing.
Okay.
There's upgrades in this game as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a little weird because like you couldn't
It is.
some of them like you couldn't progress until you
Yeah,
like found it.
and some of them you didn't even need.
Yeah.
So the Amy one, if you do, you know how you do the Bop the Eggman,
Yeah.
you get the special hammer. If you do that again and get a higher score, you get another special hammer.
Oh, okay. I didn't do it a
Yeah,
second
so,
time
like,
after that.
yeah, I mean, like, there's just stuff like that. You don't really need to collect everything. Like, if you wanted to finish big story to completion, like, in the mission mode, there's a mission mode for this game, guys. You have to collect all of the upgrades for the character you're playing as, usually, to do the missions. And the mission for big is like, catch this. Oh, sorry, not the mission. The Did you notice how when you got beat a level, it said like you beat C?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a B and an A too.
Yeah, and you have different
Um,
objectives for each mission type.
Yeah, usually it's like beat it within this time limit, beat it within that time limit. I did all of these before. With big, it's just catch bigger fish. You have to
Yeah.
catch Froggy and catch a fish that's X big, and the only way you can get bigger fish is keep collecting more lures.
Yeah.
And there's actually he's got the most upgrades in the game. There's 5
Four,
fucking lures.
five, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to end his fucking tube thing that lets him float on water.
Yep.
Yeah, so just the amount of upgrades that these characters have is kind of crazy. You don't really need them all. Like sometimes they're useful, most of the time they don't really matter.
Yeah, a lot of times they're just like make one thing slightly easier, but doesn't actually
Yeah.
really change much.
No, then it's mostly for the post game stuff. Like you need the upgrades to do some of the post game stuff.
True.
That's just a headache in its own. And the only thing you unlock with that is Metal Sonic, but it's kind of
Oh,
stupid because
okay.
Metal Sonic's his missions are all Sonic's missions.
Oh, geez. So you're just doing
You-
them in the Metal Sonic
Yeah.
skin, basically.
Yeah, basically, and you just like why not just reskin Sonic at that point and just let you like choose which skin you get, but whatever.
I saw Metal Sonic. It looked like an Eggman
Yeah.
ship. Yeah, at one
Yeah, you
point.
get to see. I mean, then you get to play as them. You also see like a little reminiscent of what Shadow will
Yes,
become,
I saw that
Yeah.
too.
which is cool because he's a big part of the second game.
Nice.
Okay, so there's upgrades. Yeah, walls in this game, like we said, they're just not great. They do like what we mean by walls, invisible walls. Like there's,
Yeah.
you know how in games there's always walls on the sides that prevent you from leaving certain areas, or there's like a caption like in Halo, like if you go too far, you'll die. You're going too far.
The
You're
Guardians.
you're super too far.
The Guardians will kill you.
Yeah, so like stuff like that. It's like falling off the map. It's the same thing as going too far out with the walls. Only in these older games they didn't do that. They just did walls.
Yep. Just
And sometimes they're useful.
I get the use for them, but sometimes like they just have them in ways like the visuals don't match where the invisible wall is, so you'll
Yeah.
clip on something, you're like, I didn't hit that, but the wall
like-
is going out further than what the stone is.
Yeah, did you ever have it where your camera fucking like turned around?
Yes.
Dude, that was fucking annoying as shit.
I had one time where the camera, like, I fell off of the stairs by the ruins area, and my camera got like stuck underneath it while I was trying to go up the stairs. And I was so my character was on top of the stairs, but the camera was underneath it. And I'm like, what the
And you're just
fuck?
like, I beat the camera. I'm out of the grid.
I don't know how to do this, and I couldn't get it out for a
Yeah.
while. It was so
It is
annoying.
crazy how different games are now with that. Like the third person view is almost perfect now, but back
Yes.
in the day it just was shit.
Yes, it's
The
definitely
first person view was worse. So
it's definitely the most frustrating part about going into older games still, but
yep.
it's worth it.
Yeah, not terrible. All right. Well, is there anything else? You got any other
Um,
complaints? Check my
I
list.
don't think so. More of my complaints are probably going to be story complaints. So
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, especially with this game. The story is not amazing. It's okay, but it's not.
yeah, it's
I get what they were trying to do.
It's just certain characters didn't even need a story.
There is like a little. There's no tutorial in this, but there is a little help creature that helps you. It's basically Navi,
Yeah,
the call, but it's Navi. It's like a little fucking orb of light that like follows you this way, or maybe you should go to the casino. Like, and that was helpful at least if you're new to the game.
I did
You have a guiding
appreciate that
force.
sometimes because, like, I ended up playing with a guide because there's sometimes I'm like, I really have no fucking idea of where to go next, and the game just does not do a good job sometimes of showing you where to go or telling you where to go.
Yeah. Um, Another thing I will say, so this is the Sonic Frontiers, right?
Yeah.
So like this is their first open world game. And
Mm-hmm.
it's pseudo open world. It's kind of open world, it's kind of not. But
Yeah.
I love that fucking feeling of being in an open world Sonic game. That was one of the coolest feelings for me. I don't know what it is about open world games, but it just feels like there should be more of them.
My best gameplay thing that I think was really cool that I liked the sentimental value for was the in the casino, the or the pinball Sonic
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, because they put a little pinball game in there too, which was cool. But we can get into that with
Yeah.
story. But yeah, I just think it's cool that they had an open world aspect in a game when open worlds weren't really a big thing back then. Like they were and they weren't.
Yeah, it
Like
took me a while to get used to how to travel through the city, but once I knew how to travel through the city, it was really easy.
Yeah, it's very small maps to be
Yeah,
honest.
well, and a lot of them are connected in multiple different ways, so you can
Yeah,
leave the train station like by 2 or 3 different exits, and same for most of the other buildings. So I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's move on.
It's story time. Let's get started.
Yeah, story.
All right, so the story for this, I mean, so I like the story a lot because I think they had a good idea. I just think the jumpiness of the story was maybe a bad idea.
What I love about this is I've always said this for movies or TV shows, but I love when you get to see multiple perspectives
Yeah,
of
that
the
is
same
cool.
event happening. So I do love that the story really takes that into consideration when you're doing all 6 of these different stories, that each one is from that character's perspective and you do the things
And
they did on that level.
yeah, and what's interesting too is that they're all overlapping each other,
Yep.
you know? They're like literally at one point all the characters are overlapped and you're seeing a different thing from each one, like you said, the perspective thing, which is really fucking cool because from your perspective, if you're playing Sonic, you're the only one who matters.
Yep.
Like, why would you care what Amy's doing or what Tails is doing when you're trying to save the world right now, you know?
But actually getting to see what the things that they all do and the different ways that they all help with the entire operation instead of just seeing what Sonic does really does bring focus to, oh, actually this entire team really is doing well together.
Yeah.
It's not just
The
Sonic.
only one who could be maybe taken out of this team is Big the Cat.
Yeah, for sure. He didn't add anything to it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, having to just fish in 4 levels after
Yeah, it was kind of, and the
Doing-
boss fight, having to fish inside of a boss.
that was so
It
stupid.
was so dumb, but so funny too. But also, like, the boss fight sometimes made sense and sometimes didn't. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like the one with Knuckles and Sonic's made sense. Sonic defeated the one on the egg carrier,
Mhm.
and then Knuckles went back and said, "Oh no, it's still alive." And
Yeah.
he had to defeat it again. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
Sonic already jumped off, so he's there. But then, where in that moment is Big able to get his frog out?
I don't know.
Like, it has to be before Sonic starts fighting it because he.
I think that
fishes it-
is where it's supposed to be, because then Sonic
Yeah.
does come in after.
No, well, see, when Sonic gets there, he goes, "He has my Froggy," and you can see Froggy floating in the thing, and Eggman even says like, "And we returned your tail."
Oh, that's correct. Yeah. I
So
don't
it
know.
literally has to be before Sonic, after Sonic talks to him, but before Sonic starts fighting him. Well, maybe while he's like one-lining Eggman or something.
I don't know. It's
He's able to fish the
bizarre.
fucking thing out. It's
The other
really
thing
funny.
I didn't like about the stories crossing over were the times when they crossed over in the same event where you saw the same exact cutscene, or you had
Yeah.
to do the same, like the Sonic versus Knuckles when they first meet up again, and then when
But
you
then-
play as Tails and you have to beat Knuckles instead of Sonic beating Knuckles. I'm like, why? Why do I need to do this again?
Yeah, that was something that was really annoying. I just felt like that could have been taken out. Just have that be part of Sonic's tail and part of
Yeah.
Knuckles' tail.
Yeah.
Like, don't put Tails in there. Why would you have him beat Knuckles when we've already done this with 2 separate characters fighting the same other character?
Yeah,
Like,
so
why
you
is
end up
Tails
having to do
not
that
involved?
fight 3 different times, which is an easy
Yeah.
fucking fight. There's
Yeah,
nothing
it takes
to
like
it.
2 seconds, but it's just like the continuity of the fight doesn't make sense then.
Exactly.
But, you know, perspective-wise, I was thinking about this while playing. I'm like, maybe Tails thinks he beat him. Like, maybe because Tails wants to be the hero guy, you know? That's like his whole thing.
See, that's the thing I really didn't like about this. Is like it really just like throws, like you said, continuity errors into this because it's like, so is Sonic the like real thing that happened, and then we just get
Yes,
random shit in
because
the
we
other
we
worlds?
know that because Knuckles also saw the same thing. So we have two perspectives seeing the same thing, and then Tails is like, "But I was the one who beat him," and you're like, "No, yeah, you weren't.
Okay,
No,
buddy, you
you
did
were
good.
standing in the background. You did good. Okay, you stay there."
You just
But
could sit
yeah,
over there and be cute.
maybe that could be why they did it, and they just didn't
Maybe.
explain it well enough or something in there. But yeah, let's start at the beginning here. So the start of this game is you play as Sonic. You are in a new place. In the story, you guys all get transferred to this human realm because you're
Mm-hmm.
not originally from the human realm. Uh, you, along with a bunch of other characters and some like stuff like the floating island and stuff, all get transported. The
Yeah.
ruins get transported because none of those ruins were there before. That's why they're so interested in exploring them. The humans, I mean.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you have to immediately fight this water thing.
Yes.
So what Chaos is, and his name is Chaos. What
Mm-hmm.
he is a Chow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a mutated Chow, mutated from hatred.
Oh, okay. That makes more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So he's like that. That's the theory anyway. That's not concrete, but that
Oh,
I
okay.
believe that makes the most sense, right? He's in the Chows love him because he's
Yeah.
also a fellow Chow. That makes the most sense to me. But he's like Eggman somehow releases him. Not too sure how, but it then reveals that maybe he released himself.
Yeah.
But and how did Eggman know about? I got confused on some of the stuff because
That's
it's
fair.
continuity errors. But they should have put an Eggman story in there. I'd love to play as Eggman
That would have
instead.
been hilarious,
That would have
honestly.
been cool.
I'm down.
Uh, that so Chaos is in the city. You defeat him as Sonic. You have to go save Tails, who's flying overhead. All this stuff is going to intersect at some point. So if we don't say something that happened, it's because it already happened in someone's story.
True.
And unless it's way different from when the first time it happened, then I won't say. You know what? Let's not go over the story. Let's just thinking about it. This is going to take a while, and it's a
Yeah,
weird
I was gonna say,
story.
story in its whole is basically Chaos gets out of the Master Emerald, the island falls to the ground, all to call and the other people that are like guarding the stone
Just
are
to call.
freaking out. Oh yeah,
Tikal is dead. She gave her heart to the stone to the Master Emerald. If you've ever heard the Sonic stories, there are 7 Chaos Emeralds and 1 Master Emerald. The Chaos Emerald is imbued with power of chaos. The Master Emerald controls all the Chaos Emerald.
yes,
Um, Chaos wants all the emeralds so he can become his true form and destroy the world.
yes,
And Sonic stops him,
yep. Sonic
becoming
wants,
Super Sonic.
yep, because they realize that Sonic could probably has enough power to wield all the Chaos Emeralds himself, and the Chaos Emeralds give
Uh,
or whatever.
From on that point, I'm pretty sure he's become Super Sonic before because they're well aware of the Chaos Emeralds.
I know, but the way that Tails says it, he's like, I think that Sonic would be able to do this.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Did you love that part? We'll talk a little bit about our favorite parts. That's one of my favorite parts of the game just because how fucking stupid it is.
It really is stupid.
So the Super Sonic story, before you become Super Sonic, you just hear like 5 people go, "Yeah, Sonic! Yeah, Sonic!
Yeah.
Do it, Sonic!" And it's like just 5 people, and you're like, this entire city is destroyed. Where are these 5 people at?
Seriously though.
Like, guys, the city is flooded. The buildings are all gone. Chaos comes out of a building. I will say the cutscenes in this game are actually kind of fucking cool.
Some of them were really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially that
when
one.
yeah, that one's really cool. I love it when the egg carrier flies overhead. That's really
That's
fucking
really
cool.
cool. I love
Uh,
when the island goes up. I wish it actually
Yeah.
showed it falling down. Like it shows it falling, but
It
it doesn't
did.
show it crash. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
cuts
and
to
which
black
is
before it
weird.
crash.
Like, that's one thing I thought. I'm like, man, if this thing actually crashed into the ocean, it would destroy the fucking city, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be
It's
like
just
what
a
they talked
railway
about with
away.
Sokovia and
Yeah.
Avengers 2.
Yeah, it's amazing. So some of my favorite story moments in here. I just want to read you some Sonic one-liners because they are fucking
Okay.
hilarious.
I do like these.
He follows the water. This guy's made of water, and he follows him, and he goes, "Where are you going, Big Drip?" it just it just makes you're like, what the fuck? Okay. Then he's talking to Eggman because the first time you see Eggman, he goes, "Look, it's a big talking egg," and you're like, "Is that really an insult?" He just
Totally.
it's so stupid. The one-liners really did get me, and my favorite one, he's talking to Knuckles, and he goes, "Way to go, Knucklehead!"
Serious.
You're just
Yeah, he
like,
did it another
"No."
time too. He's like, "Smooth move, knucklehead."
Yeah, and you're just like, "Shut the fuck up, Sonic! Shut the fuck up right now!"
He
Oh,
does
it's so
yeah, just
the one-liners are so bad, but it's so Sonic, right? That's just what Sonic is.
it's
They're
true.
shitty fucking one-liners.
Ready, go, speed.
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep,
Yep.
yep. That's just what it is, man. Some of my favorite levels. You want to talk about some of our favorite levels
Yeah,
in here?
I'm down.
I actually really like the Tails version of the Wind Valley level.
Yes, and that was
Where
such a easy level to do, and I
it
love
was.
the
Well,
the
it
racing
gets way
aspect.
harder on the B and the A.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you have to beat him within a certain time.
I only
limit,
did a
like-
few Bs. I never went back and did any As. I didn't
Yeah,
care to do a lot of that.
I 100% of the achievements on this, except for some of the missions. Because there's a mission mode too. It's kind of
Oh,
fun, but
okay.
not really that fun.
Fair.
So that level, it's just cool to look at. Like you're going down a winding raceway. It's the end of the level technically, because the Sonic part of that is way fucking bigger.
Yes.
But I did like the end of it. Like it just the Tails levels sometimes felt so much better than the full-on Sonic levels.
Honestly, Tails was my favorite of the stories to play through.
Yeah,
Like it
he
was
was the
so
most
fast,
fun.
it was so easy, it was so
Boss was
smooth.
unique at the end.
Yeah, like I
But-
really enjoyed it.
I will say the only two unique bosses that we got were the Sonic boss and the Tails boss.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Gamma boss is okay. It's the other robot, but it's like when you do one robot, you basically do them all. They all basically do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, except for that last robot or whatever. The
Amy
the
one?
purple one. Yeah. Or no, the it's not even really like a robot. You just shoot like the 6 things on the sides. It's the giant purple spinning thing. It's the I don't know.
Oh, that's not the last Gamma fight.
No, it's not the last Gamma fight. It's just one of the Gamma fights.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
last Gamma fight's the one I'm talking about. The cool looking robot, way cooler than Boy Gamma.
Oh,
was.
yeah, the new version of Beta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I liked the fight, but there was an Eggman robot that he fought Sonic in that did the same fucking powers, and you're
Yeah.
like, well, we've already done this. Like, what are you talking? Why are we doing this again?
Some of the boss fights were just way too lackluster. Like some of them like were actually kind of like somewhat challenging in a way, like going against
Yeah.
Eggman and as Sonic when you're on the two
sides.
the two
Yeah.
sides and he's
And you
like
have to hit him to cross over.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one was actually like decently challenging. Like the last couple boss fights were so easy. And like the
Dude.
only other one that was a little challenging was the one where you actually had to pick up the like
The
Cairo.
freezing thing.
Yeah.
Cryo.
Cryo, not Cairo. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Cairo, not a city in Egypt.
Yeah. When you pick up
Uh,
all of Egypt and you throw it at chaos.
Take Cairo, bitch. A couple things on that fucking Sonic boss fight, that last one.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes. It sounds like it didn't happen to you, otherwise you'd be bitching about it.
Oh, okay.
But when you target Eggman, because there's no targeting function in this fucking
Yes.
game, which there maybe should be. But when you target him and you do your little rush at him, you can miss and fall
Yes.
off the edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you're on a very thin fucking platform.
Fair.
Yeah, you can miss, even though you're aiming right at him. You can miss. It was one of the most frustrating things. Not this playthrough, but my previous playthrough, because I
Okay.
kept dying because I kept missing. I'm like, what is going on? Is this like a weird glitch? I had to turn off the game and reload it in order for that to stop happening.
I know for me in the Tails fight, the unique Gamma fight where he's like jumping on all fours and you have to like hit his feet to knock him down
Yeah.
to bring him down. The second or like the third time you have to like hit him, he like flops in the opposite direction of you, and sometimes it
yeah.
was hard for me to get over to its face in
Just to get a
time
hit.
to get a hit. And I would miss getting that hit, so
I
then
did
he
that
would
a
stand
couple
up. I'm
times,
like,
too.
oh, why the fuck is this taking so long?
What's weird is I always forget about the Tails boss fight for some reason. Even though I've played this game multiple times, like I cannot remember the Tails boss fight after like a year.
That's fair.
He's the only one I forget. Every time I forget his. But I don't know. Tails was also my favorite because when he does the speedway, he's basically the biggest fucking hero,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He stopped basically a fucking nuke.
Seriously though.
And I mean, Sonic was over there chilling at the Mystic Ruins while Tails is stopping a nuke from it blowing up.
Yeah, right in the middle of the city.
Right in the middle of the fucking city. I just love the fact that he launches it first too. He already launches it and is a dud, and you're like, typical Eggman.
Seriously though. But yeah,
So what
no,
was your
Tails is
favorite
awesome.
level in that entire game?
It was like I said, probably some of the Tails levels, or honestly a lot of just the Tails levels. But I also what was the other one? I did kind of like the one on Sonic, like one of the first ones where you actually have to like outrun the orca and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, that's the very first one.
Yeah, that one was
Yeah,
that one
because
was
you're
really
trying to
good.
save Tails.
It's some of the levels are just hard. Like I feel like multiple playthroughs would do it justice, just because there's so many different ways I feel like you can go in the levels. Like they're not
Yeah.
as linear as I thought they would be.
You should see how some people do the Sonic charge. So you can charge a Sonic and basically super jump,
Oh,
like
okay.
extreme distances to the point where you can skip entire portions of levels.
Oh, jeez.
When I was doing my Sonic time runs, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that. But then once you stop doing it, you forget completely how to do it, and then I just didn't care to try to relearn.
That's fair.
But yeah, the Sonic stuff is actually kind of fun to do. No other character has that ability to really skip stuff.
Tails, you can jump off of certain areas and just like glide down to lower
Yeah.
areas.
But still, you don't get to skip entire fucking portions of the level as Tails like you do as Sonic. You don't
Yeah.
have that like ability to get to an area that's so far off in the background.
Well, Tails also has some of the most easy to recognize shortcuts through
Yeah,
the levels.
well, yeah, because they built those shortcuts in.
Yeah.
The Sonic ones I'm talking about are not built in.
Yeah, and that's fair.
They did not want you to finish the level this way. People just figured it out.
Yes.
It is cool. Like, that's cool. Story wise, like the main bad guy in this game, Chaos, did make you feel a little bit, didn't he?
A little bit. Chaos was definitely like.
He's not a bad guy.
No, he's just
Like, he's like a child who's absorbing all whatever's going on around him.
true. And there's a lot of hate going on around him.
Yeah, nonstop war and stuff. But Takal's character I thought was kind of useless in this game. You probably could have taken her out. and just,
Yeah.
like had like a robot take her place or something, giving you hints and not have any story. With
I
the
always felt like
robot.
she was going to be a lot more important, and then she just
Like
never.
Sonic was gonna marry her or something.
I thought Knuckles was or something, or Tails or something. Like it was going to be some romance between some of them.
Yeah, then that's not really the Sonic way. Like
Yeah.
the Amy romance is actually kind of funny with Sonic, and it's always funny.
Because he doesn't really care for it, and she's
Yeah.
absolutely in love with him.
Do you love, by the way, the fact that Amy is the only one? Amy and Big are the only ones wearing clothes.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest part of it.
Yeah, and it's just like, why is she wearing a dress, but Sonic and Tails are just completely naked? There's no pants or anything.
They're wearing shoes. They're not completely naked.
You're right. They're wearing shoes. How could I forget?
Hey, I mean, even the signs are no shirt, no shoes, no service. They're halfway to service.
They are. They're
They only
almost
need
there.
a shirt.
Yep. It's just funny to me that she wears clothes. You're like, you don't have tits, do you? Like what? Why would you need clothes?
Maybe female hedgehogs do.
Maybe. Yeah, and I was debating that. Is she a hedgehog?
I don't know.
I think she is. That would make sense, right? That's why she's attracted to Sonic. 'Cause he's
Yeah.
another hedgehog.
I feel like Tails. I don't even know if Tails is. I don't know.
No, Tails is a fox.
Oh, okay. I was like, is he
Tails-
a fox or a squirrel? I couldn't remember.
He's a fox. Knuckles is an Enkinda.
Yeah, whatever.
Uh, Yeah, whatever that is. Big the cat, I believe, is a cat.
You don't
Gamma's
say.
a robot.
What?
And then, yeah, Sonic is a hedgehog, so I'm guessing Amy is a hedgehog as well?
Probably.
She's gotta be, right?
Sounds like it's gotta be.
Otherwise, I don't think they're trying to. I think they're really just trying to say like marry your race kind of deal, which is maybe not okay.
Well, it was the '90s. We'll give them that. It was
Yeah,
Japanese made in the '90s, so I can't
I guess.
I can't yell at
It,
it that much.
it's funny to me because it's like the romance part of this game is kind of funny because you know that Amy like loves Sonic to death,
Yeah,
but Sonic does not like her at all.
yeah,
It's
he
just
just
really
is so
funny.
indifferent. Like,
It's
okay.
like, oh God, it's Amy. Like he's always running away from her, which I think is really funny.
Oh yeah.
All right, hold on. I have to look up her species. Her
Okay.
species is so she's an anamorphic hedgehog.
Yeah. All right. All right.
All right, so that's why she's married to Sonic. Kind of, maybe. Maybe they'll have pink and blue hedgehog babies.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, other things in the story that I really liked. I kind of the big stuff was kind of boring, but it was a good break from the combat. I will say that.
The big stuff.
Yeah. The cat. Big cat.
Oh, I just it was so unnecessary and so just lackluster and so just like I said, you go from the three fastest characters with the most fighting capabilities to after that immediately going to the character that does absolutely dog shit nothing
Yep.
but fish, and then go to a character that doesn't do a lot of stuff and is really slow and has probably the most cutscenes of all the characters. And then you go to a robot that can just fly and shoot and do everything. So it's just the
best character
weirdest
in the game.
pace. Because
Yeah.
it's so bizarre. I just did not like that. Maybe if they paced it differently or moved them in around or something for the stories, but for me, I just felt like it was so useless, and I really did not enjoy. Because even like the fishing, I got pissed. I had to look up how to catch things because
Yeah, the
I was
fishing is
catching.
rough. It doesn't even tell you how to fucking reel.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't tell you anything about it. So like I kind of figured the reeling thing and how to actually get a
No,
fish
what I mean, like it doesn't tell you how to like start the real
yeah,
process. You have to
yeah.
hold back on the fucking directional pad. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have just pressed guessing A or pressing A.
Yeah.
Like just really weird that they didn't give you an instruction. And then I went after I looked it up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go into the instructions and see if I can find this. Nowhere in the instructions
Nope.
does it explain fishing.
No, it does not. And it was just the action button on the Xbox 360 version. So it was
Action
just
button?
the you basically had two buttons. You had A and B. You had like an action button and then
Oh,
a
so
jump button.
to officially catch, not just reel, sorry, to actually like have the ability to reel,
Oh,
you
so
have to hit back on the directional pad.
I didn't ever do that for when I was first catching a fish, and I was
Yeah, you
getting
had to do
hits
it for
right
the
away.
frog,
But the
though.
frog, you had to flick the fucking thumbstick, and I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean you have to?
And when you do like the bigger fish, you have to do it for bigger fish too.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it didn't
Smaller.
ever say anything about that, and I was so fucking confused, and I had to watch videos on how to do it on YouTube
Yeah.
because I was like, what the fuck? Why can't I catch anything?
Yeah. The fishing part was a little annoying, but again, it's a good break if you're tired of all the fighting and like the giant levels, because the levels are fucking huge sometimes.
The levels are really long for
Yeah.
that game. I felt like some of the levels you could get done in a minute, and some of them took you like 12 minutes, and it just
Yeah.
felt way too long after that.
I mean, I hated the Knuckles levels too. I just don't
Yeah.
like hide and seek games, and that's the same in Sonic Adventure 2, only it's fucking worse.
Well, I also just didn't like that Knuckles didn't have like a good ranged attack. Like you really had to get close, but you didn't have to get as
Yeah.
close as Amy, but you still is like it was hard to actually aim your punches.
Yeah, and I mean, there's almost no point in killing anything as Knuckles. You can just fly around and find all the gems, but that's kind of boring to me. I don't like hide and seek games like that.
Yeah.
The Tails and the Sonic stories were by far the most interesting and clearly what they spent the most time on.
True.
Amy's story was this, I would say, almost as interesting just because she had a completely different perspective in boss fights, and same with Gamma's.
Yeah.
But Knuckles and Big just basically followed the Tails and Sonic story.
Yeah, we really could have just taken those out and been
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, but it's fine. Knuckles playing was at least fun. You could glide and shit.
Didn't really
so
use
yeah,
the dig very often though.
No, not really. Some of the powers you didn't really need very often.
Yeah.
Out of all the characters, what is your favorite story? You're gonna say Tails, I'm betting.
I'm saying Tails. It's by far the easiest. It's by far just the smoothest play. It's by far just the most forgiving and just honestly the most fun. Like, I feel like I went way faster in the levels as Tails than I ever did Sonic.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say my favorite is Gamma.
Okay.
Gamma
I
is
do
actually
enjoy
my
Gammas.
Gamma's was kind of fun. It's like a completely different game from all the other characters. Like it's
Really
really
is.
cool. It's cool that only one part of that intersects with everyone else, but his story is still important enough to help. It's
Yes.
still sad to me that the Supersonic thing didn't have him in it.
Yes. I
But
do love Gamma's first level where you're having to shoot all the Sonic and
I
Tails
know
dolls.
dolls
That was
and
so
Knuckles, I
great.
think.
Yep.
Yeah. So Gamma's story at the end, guys, just so you know, he dies. But remember, every robot is an animal, so his inner bird comes out and joins his other bird family, which he killed robots to get his bird families.
Yep.
But the first part of this is you're obeying Eggman, and the second part is like he realizes Eggman's not a good person, so he stops obeying him
Yep.
and goes looking for his family.
It's really cool. I really did enjoy
Yeah.
that, and I did
It is
like
a
the
cool
Gamma
story.
and Amy moments together. Like,
And again, it's just this other thing where like you're only doing part of the level that you did with Sonic, and it's actually kind of cool that way.
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, and I like that a lot. My second favorite character to play as is definitely Sonic, only because after you learn like the way to jump around, like the way to do the
Yeah.
super jump, you find so much more enjoyment in playing the fucking levels.
Okay.
So I would recommend going back and maybe doing a second playthrough as Sonic just to see those.
Okay. I
Watch
can do
someone's
that.
video on how to do that because it's really fun to do his super jumps.
I bet it would be because honestly, like once you get good at traversal with the character, that's what makes that great.
Yeah.
Because like until I learned how to do the hammer flip with Amy, I really hated walking around as Amy. But then
And then you're like, I can't wait to get that speed up.
exactly.
Yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much it for story. You fight Chaos at the end, and you beat him as Supersonic, and then you're the hero.
The
And then
easiest
somehow
boss fight in the game is the last.
it
one.
is literally it's the dumbest one too. You just fucking run towards it.
It's so
basically,
stupid. It's so
like-
easy to dodge all that shit, and you just run
Yeah.
at him and then
you
jump.
don't even have to dodge it. I never dodge. I just let it hit me, and then get a little bit more speed by like not letting it hit me too close. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then you could just basically keep redoing it. If you don't do it, you don't die unless you run out of rings.
Which even if you do run out of rings, you spawn back with 50 rings, like right where
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah, it's just funny. I thought that was funny. All right, well, let's move on.
Worth or not?
This game sucks dick. No, I'm just-
Alright, that's fair. I'm gonna give it a worth, and I'm gonna do that not just because of the story, because the Chow Garden really does make this game. Like,
Okay.
I'm telling you, dude, that is the epitome of this game. Was the Chow Garden? That is what they perfected with this fucking game.
I will
To
go
the
back
point
and-
where I never played Sonic Frontiers, but I will not play it if there is no Chow Garden.
I don't know if there is.
I really hope there is, because that was, again, that's the best part of this game.
I also will actually say Worth, surprisingly. I was debating between Worth and Worth. I do think of the Sonic games that I've played so far, this is one of the easiest to play. It's one of the least frustrating ones, and it's one that actually has a pretty decent story, and I really did love the perspective ideology of this one, of doing all the different perspectives. Like, that to me is just so unique that I have to give it a ton of fucking credit for.
For sure.
So yeah, I even have to give this one a worth. But yeah, it is with the caveat of there is still some annoying things in it. There is still some bugs in it. And
Yeah.
it is a Sonic game still, so some of the things are just boring and annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to happen from old games, too.
True.
I bet if we played Sonic Frontiers, we would love it, because it'd be like everything we hate about this perfected in that, and then we pick something we hate
I've honestly
about that.
been really curious, and I saw it like at a game store used for like $25, and I was like, maybe I should
Not
just
too
buy
bad.
it.
You should. You should. All right, everybody. Well, next week's game is going to be
The
Yeah.
game.
Until Dawn.
Yes, that thing.
We're going to be playing Until Dawn. That is a PlayStation exclusive. I have not played yet, so I'm excited to jump in.
And I have actually not played it myself, but I have watched it played 5 times.
Nice. That's, I don't know if you need to get too specific with that number. You could have just said I watched it play.
I watched it played
by
There
5
you go.
different people.
Well, naked? Were you in the closet?
I wasn't
How'd you get-
naked.
How'd you get into their houses?
Well, you know,
Who are these people?
Markiplier,
Well, it sounds like you're breaking into people's houses. And watching
Gavin, and
people play this
Michael.
game.
Wait.
Wait, what?
What? You
All
weren't
right.
masturbating?
Well, that was it. That was Sonic. Yay! All right, guys. We will catch you on the next episode. Until dawn. Until next time.
Bye. Love you.
No.
Yes.